lives we choose, we fight and never lose. Oh, we were young and sure to have our way. La 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 la. La 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 la.
York Hotel was just part of London's folk mythology. Well, it was a cultural phenomenon in a city that did have a very rich artistic culture. It brought a lot of people together. It was a focal point for a lot of vibrant artistic energy, as well as a lot of eccentric characters that used to come to New York. Just a very, very vibrant scene that I don't think is possible today, but it existed at that time.
But this was the only focal point in London where everybody gathered together sort of in one large kind of artistic, zany family, you know, of eccentrics and poets and writers, and people, you could do anything you wanted. I mean, if you wanted to get up on a table and rant and rave or talk about something or talk about your mother-in-law, you could do it here.
The other day I walked into my bank and asked the manager if I could speak to the loan arranger. He said, "I'm sorry, the loan arranger isn't in. Would you like to speak to Tonto?" I said, "Okay, where's Tonto?" He said, "I don't know, but I think he might be about 120 miles from London in his TP or not TP. That is the question." Thank you.
I heard about it through a friend of mine by the name of Charlie Savage, who was a bohemian character, just a wonderful guy. He told me there were interesting groups playing here, and I just came down with him. I met Eddie and Mo, and I kept on coming on a regular basis. And it felt very at home, a very warm, friendly, open atmosphere, and a lot of writers, artists, interesting people. It was the center of what a lot of great activities.
I used to walk in the side door at the Clarence, and it's just like the backyard to an old farmhouse. And you would walk in, and immediately you would see all these really crummy tables, these really crummy chairs. On the right, there was a Venetian wall mural. In the back, there was a large picture of Queen Victoria. There were pictures of steam engines in this other room. There was a Frederick Banting painting above the bar. And there were all kinds of little things that were framed up, newspaper clippings, and just odds and ends. The place was a real schmozzle and a real mix of all kinds of things that had no rationale or interconnection. The place looked as crazy as seeing and hearing the Spasm band. Nothing really added up in terms of aesthetics. Nothing matched. I've said this before. I think they got all the furniture, you know, just from restaurant auctions and the washrooms. I mean, the place was sort of a dump. And I don't know, I think maybe artists are just attracted to dumps. If it had brass rails and stuff like that, I don't think anything like this would have ever happened at the York Hotel.
Everybody, I got to go, just like old Eddie. I said I got to go now. Everybody, I got to go. I tell, I'll pack my bag, and down the road I go. I just pack my bag, down the road I go.
So I came in and sat down just over there, and I ordered a beer, and I was talking to the lady next door, and we introduced ourselves, and it turned out to be Mayor Jane Bigelow, I was kind of surprised to see her here. It's a pretty dingy place, lots of smoke, lots of rowdies kind of thing, and so I was hooked on the place. You know, I was here about twice a week ever since, I think, until it closed down, and then I bought my last glass of beer, which I've held on to all these years.
I think what I liked best about coming to the York was you could just come by yourself and you'd always find people that you knew here who were friends. It was a good, comfortable place. Hi, Greg. Good, comfortable place to come.
Yes, it was a place to get together because when you're an artist, you work by yourself. So, you know, at the end of the day, you want to go someplace and talk to them. actual people.
We would go to places to drink, and this was the place we happened to go to. This was fairly close to my studio and to the other ones, and it was a quiet pub. And Eddie and Mo had some class, you know. So we got along with them. We could talk to them. And that was the only pub where that really happened, because we didn't know the owners elsewhere, but we got to know these guys that ran it. It was very unusual. So it just started happening. And because the artists were here, and people like that were here, other people started showing up.
Like my friend who plays guitar, he's on his way somewhere by car, moving so he don't get stuck in the ground. When he plays again, people are gonna sing, people are gonna laugh, and they're gonna clap, they'll clap, and they'll sing with their friend. Sing, sing a song with me, a song for friends and friends to be. Sing, sing a song with me, a song that's fresh and green and free.
Well, there was a closeness about it because when we performed there, we were in a really small room, and people would come in the door by your elbow, and if they liked your music, they might sit close to you. If they didn't, they could just go to the back of the room, or they could head into another room and have a couple of beers. And of course, Eddie was always here to greet people, and Mo was always behind the bar, and part of the payment was free beer. But of course, if you drank too much beer, you couldn't perform. It was kind of a catch-22.
La 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 la. La 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 la. Those were the days. Oh yes, those were the days. That's my set. Next up will be the Dixie Flyers. Thank you very much. Woo.